Welcome to Matters That Matter. In this video, we are going to look at the political economy of funerals. Is the model we have adopted for burying our dead sustainable? That is the question. We have to answer this question because all of us will die at one time. The big question is, should we really fundraise to transport dead bodies hundreds of kilometers to ancestral homes? Would we not save lots of time and money to inter bodies wherever death occurs? This reminds me of the many interesting posts doing rounds on social media which examine the cost of funerals in Kenya. A good number of these posts make specific reference to the modest send-off organized for the late CEO of the most profitable company in East Africa, Bob Colmore. The burial of Bob Colmore was devoid of the extravagance and overindulgence that is commonly witnessed in many funerals. This calls for serious reflection on the political economy of funerals in this country. The kind of excesses, both in terms of time and money, inevitably impact on the well-being of affected families. While cultural imperatives are important, society has to adjust to changing times. The so-called befitting send-offs are characterized by wastage and are simply unsustainable. The pattern is familiar. Once a family loses a loved one, arrangements are made to preserve the body at the nearest mortuary, and fundraising activities start in earnest. The extravagance exhibited in drawing the budgets are, to say the least, outrageous. Death that occurs away from ancestral homes require more money since the bodies have to be transported home, so to speak. The preferred mode of raising funds is through WhatsApp platforms. The reason for choice of this platform is obvious. It is simple to enlist everyone that the administrators know with or without their consent. But there are many people who capitalize on funerals to build or destroy political careers. Apart from contributing money to cover funeral expenses, the political class often turn funerals or funeral ceremonies to spaces for outdoing one another. I know of a man who won a political seat as a member of parliament majorly for buying a minibus that was used to transport bodies from Nairobi to his rural constituency. Now look at that. That tells you what we think is important. Yet ideally, that is not very important. We should worry more about the living than the dead. Many politicians now have invested heavily in vehicles that transport dead bodies. What surprises many people is the culture of feasting and merrymaking at funerals. The money collected is normally used to feed mourners and pay professional mourners. This is hardly the best way of spending public funds. However, there is a bright side of this enterprise. Entrepreneurs have come up in rural Kenya who provide catering services and hiring out of tents, chairs, and public address systems. The truth is that we are a people who love the dead more than the living. In view of this, we have to think of models of showing our love to the dead that is sustainable. I think it is necessary to increase uptake of funeral insurance policies. This, I think, is our way out. So far, only 3% of Kenyans have some form of funeral insurance. If this insurance policy is popularized, we would drastically reduce the fundraising activities that are almost choking Kenyans. These policies should cover for cost of coffin, transport, and food expenses. Now, a research commissioned by the Association of Kenya Insurers decrees the low uptake of funeral covers. It argues that this policy would ensure that families are not left worse off financially after death of a loved one. It calls upon change in our perception of death so that we can all prepare for it. More significantly, it is important to rethink our methods of disposal of bodies. That is critical, and indeed extremely critical. In rural Kenya, for example, some homesteads look like cemeteries with graves dotted all over the compound. This devalues the land tremendously. While cremation is increasingly becoming popular, there are other better methods of disposing bodies. The latest technology of disposing of human bodies offers an alternative choice to cremation and conventional burial methods. This technology converts human remains into soil for use in gardens. The technology allows for the accelerated conversion of human remains into soil and rich manure. I think turning bodies into composite is better for the earth than any other form of disposing of bodies. I know that this will definitely attract criticism, but I am inviting you to this debate. On that note, we come to the end of Matters That Matter, in which we looked at the political economy of funerals. I would like to invite you to share this video, comment, and subscribe to our channel. On behalf of my crew, Pambi and Neka, I would like to say bye for now.